Hello everyone. Quick video on, I think this is so important. So I've never seen anyone do this video. I have been doing this for a while, so I knew there had to be an easier way than watching 25, 35, 50 charts every week or every day and looking for inside candle breaks because that's what I watch for, right? And so Thinkorswim is, allows you to do so many things. I just think this is such a helpful tip, a little trick. So what I do actually is every week, I want to show you guys this because, it takes a little work, right? Every single week, I put together an Inside Candle weekly list, right? You can do this daily too. Depends, I play dailies as well. But weekly list, the weekly is my favorite, of all the Inside Candle that I am interested in. I track them, right, for my own knowledge on how they perform. I'll do a different video on how I narrow this down. But for example, this week, there was actually, 56 that I tracked. So 56 candle breaks. And it's really hard to look at 56 charts, even if you set alerts, right, on when they break, when you want to get in. You can set up OCO orders. I'll do a video on that as well. But this is a video on a little trick that helps me out a great deal. Okay, so let's just say you narrow this 56 down to, I don't know, top 15 or 20 that you're interested in playing. And you do need to have that many because you got to think not all are going to trigger. Or for example, if you're only looking for longs that week, out of your top 20, maybe only 10 will trigger. So you do need to have more than the normal watch list, right? Most people are looking at maybe 5 stocks a day max, just depending. So what I do is I make a watch list for every week. So for example, I'm just going to use this watch list right here. I have for 12/21/2020. I actually already deleted last week's, unfortunately, and for some reason I forgot to delete this one, so it's still in my system. So if you look, this was 12/21/2020. This is everything I was looking at that week, right, for inside candle breaks. So first I make a watch list of all of those, right? Then, since I have a watch list made, I can go into my scan. And what I want to do is set up a scan to tell me when those candles break to the upside. Let's just do the upside as the example, right? So on ADM, for example, if I'm looking for that to go 2 up and break the last week's high, and if that is my trigger and I want to get in, then I want to be alerted, right? And the easiest way to do that I've found is by setting this up. So I come into my scanner and I have to set up a 2-bar, which if you remember, a 2-bar can break to the upside or the downside. So I've created a 2-up bar here. Now, if you don't know how to do that, go back and watch my first video. It basically shows you how to set up a custom bar in your system. So you're going to need to set up a 2-up bar to be able to scan for this. It's very easy though. Short video, go watch that. And then after you've got that in your system, you come here to set up the scanner. And let's just pretend like that wasn't there then. Okay, let's do this from scratch. There's nothing here, right? But you're going to add a filter. You're going to add a study. You are going to customize this to one of your custom. I always start by deleting this. This is always the default that's in here. I delete and start from scratch. I add condition. I add study, right? And then I look it up. Now it depends what you named it, right? When you set it up in your system, all right, I named this bar 2 up. Okay. Now bar 2 up is true in the last 1 bar, right? What that's telling me, I hit save and I hit OK. So now I set this to weekly too. You see the time frame right here? Now this depends, right? I'm looking for on my weekly watch list. If I was looking on my daily watch list, then I would keep it daily. But I want to look for a bar that breaks the high of the previous bar, and I'm doing that on a weekly basis. So hopefully you guys are understanding this. I'm looking for this bar on the current bar to break the high of last week's bar, and for my strategy, the inside candle break, that is what my trigger is, right? So I want to know when that happens. So I set that up, and then I come in here, right? And I say, scan in, right? I don't want to scan in all stocks. I don't want to scan in all optionable or any of that stuff like I normally would want to. I want to scan in one of my watch lists. I created this watch list over here, right? I named it 12/21 2020 watch list. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find that watch list. And here it is, 12/21 2020 stock list. Okay? So now I have set this scan up to only tell me when these bars, when one of these weekly bars triggers to the upside for one of these stocks that I have in my watch list. Then I hit scan, right? It shows me obviously some that were in there, but then I want to save this scan, right? So I go to save scan. I've already got this saved as my ICBW, my weekly up from watch list scan, okay? So I'm going to cancel because I've already saved it as that, but you would save it and name it whatever you want. And now the great thing is I'm going to do this in the reverse too, right? I'm going to do this for the upside. This is if bars break up and if bars are breaking down. So for example, if I want to play the downside, then I would need to do the reverse of this to tell me when the weekly bar is triggering the, basically the sell, right? You'd be going short or you'd be buying puts because you're breaking the bottom of last week's candle, which means you're going down. Okay, so it would be my trigger to the downside. But this is trigger to the upside and it's going through my stock list, right? So now what do I need to do? I actually need to go over here, and where I have this watch list, it's not going to help me to have the watch list up. That's not going to do anything, right? I actually need to pull up the scan that I created. So I have to go and I have to pull up or have it set to, and I do this every Monday morning, right? I have to have it set to, what did I name it? ICB week up from watch list. Okay, that's what I named it. Now, every Monday morning, I have this running, and every time one of those stocks breaks to the upside, it pops up on here. Now, I will tell you, Thinkorswim, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, right? We've all experienced that. It's maddening. The platform just gets bogged down, but when this is working, it's pretty brilliant. Okay, so now every time one of my candles breaks to the upside on the weekly, it's going to pop up here. So I don't have to sit there and watch the charts and have, 35 charts up. I can wait for it to trigger in here. What's even better is if I right click right here, I hover over here and I left click, you can do alert when scan results change. Now the reason you're going to want to do that is because let's say you have 10 alerts that pop up. Well, you're not going to notice when a new one pops up, and then they're not even in alphabetical order, so it's just going to get mixed up in there. You're not even going to know what the last one that popped up was. But if you do alert when scan results change, a few things happen. You can get a ding, a noise, you can get a text to your phone, you can get a pop-up message, and then you can go back and look to see which ones were the last ones that triggered, right? So it's just very, very helpful. So you want to go and do the, possibly send yourself a text, play the bell, whatever, change the sound, but make sure that you're getting notified every time a new one triggers. So I set the alert up and I have this one showing for my weekly up breaks, and I have another one showing with my weekly down breaks. So now all I have to do is sit there on a Monday morning and, wait for things to trigger. And I can also have OCO orders in. I'll do a video on that. But the problem I've found on Mondays with OCO orders is just things get a little wacky. Prices are a little spready. I have got some really bad fills. Again, maybe that's just Thinkorswim, but I've kind of shied away from OCO orders on Mondays because of that. It doesn't seem to be as bad the rest of the week, but you're also, having some gap ups or gap downs a lot of times on Mondays. So anyway, this is so extremely helpful to help me with my system. This is my edge, and this is one of the tips and tricks I have for you of how to get these alerts and implement this process. Thank you so much.